all you cyberpunks and retro nerds out there, it's your host, Tommy the Hammer. Welcome back to another edition of Neon Trash. Tonight we're going to be checking out the movie Late Phases, Night of the Lone Wolf. And this film stars, and forgive me if I mispronounce this man's name, Nick D'Amici? I don't know. He was also in some movies called Mulberry Street, Stakeland, which was about the apocalypse and vampires, and he was also in the superb indie crime thriller Cold in July. I love that movie. He's a fantastic lead, and I pretty much enjoy his characters in all the movies that I've seen so far. You guys get to check out the trailer, peep that shit, and we get back. Y'all motherfuckers are gonna know my opinione on Late Phases.
Hey, speed limit 25. Easy, boy.
It reminds me of that place that we used to live in when I was a kid.
Looks like we beat the movers here. I can't see you, but you smell beautiful.
Did you just move next door?
Hi, Mom. Didn't think you'd still be awake. Mom.
What the hell is that?
Where's the boy?
Dolores! Dolores! Dolores!
None of the neighbors saw any sign of this assailant. It's just an animal attack.
This has happened before.
Attacks like these happen all the time. Please, stay in your house, keep the doors closed until we sort this out, okay?
Seems like such a nice place to live.
People don't come to places like this to live. They come here to die. Can you make silver bullets?
Yeah.
Can you do silver shotgun shells?
When it comes down to werewolf movies, well, they can be kind of difficult to execute. On one hand, you've got this premise about a man or a woman slowly transforming into a beast. And how do you execute that visually speaking? Well, you can go with old school prosthetics, or you can go by way of CGI. And I gotta say, I really like the hands-on retro special effects. When you look at an actual actor in a full bodysuit with a lot of makeup and gore and blood squibs and all the things that special effects artists do for that costume, it's simply amazing. And even if you're the type that sits back and go, okay, that's a guy in a suit, you can't deny the artistic craft that went behind said suit. This one here is very interesting. You've got this kind of modern day grindhouse sense to the story, but at the same time, you've got this deeply rooted dramatic element. The main character in this film is an older fella, and I gotta say, the director really took a chance, a very daring chance, dare I say it, by having a lot of the main characters in this movie be older actors. Elements about the elderly being shunned by the youth of society is very strong. It really kind of comes through in the narrative. You know, I feel like a lot of us can relate to this premise. We all know, grandparents or aunts and uncles. It makes you feel for the man. He's a blind war vet who's kind of shunned by his asshole son, and he's put into a gated community, more or less a place for him to die. And he knows this. This is something that's really not unspoken to him. So he's a little bit jaded, a little bit sour on the premise. But as he gets to this community, he realizes that something is seriously fucked up in this gated community. Now, I've read a lot of reviews online that have claimed that, oh, the special effects in this movie are terrible. Well, I gotta say, I don't know what the fuck those guys are talking about. I feel like the special effects in this movie are as good as they can be for a low-budget kind of grindhouse affair. Yeah, it's a full-body werewolf, costume, and yeah, there's barely any CGI. Now, guys, that's not to say this movie is an entire success, because it's not. The cinematography, whereas it's very competent and nicely done, kind of falls flat. There's no real visual flair, and the overall production value kind of reminds me of one of those old Masters of Horror episodes. If you're expecting that kind of grand spectacle of Hollywood with a lot of sweeping camera angles and CGI and makeup and well-known actors all over the fucking place, well, you're gonna be sorely disappointed, because this movie kind of has none of that. This is a modern-day, low-budget cult film. If you don't like that old-school sentiment and you watch movies like The Howling or Silver Bullet or Woofin', and you kind of roll your eyes and you go, oh man, this is cheesy, well then this movie will do nothing for you to change your mind. So, out of 10 stars, I think I could give the movie Late Phases a solid 7 out of 10.